What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C4, and today I continue on my early Madden 17 overall release video. Today we're looking at the San Diego Chargers. As always, guys, try to hit 40 likes on this video and upload the next one immediately. And subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're trying to hit 15,000 subs by the time Madden 17 comes out. So the premise of this series is two things. One, these are going to be pretty much damn close to what the actual Madden 17 overall rosters will look like. Overall rosters, it's kind of awkward. But also, I'm going to release these once this entire series is done. So if the next game sucks or you just really want to keep playing Madden 16, you'll be able to have the 17 rosters on Madden 16. So with that being said, let me know in the comment section below if I should adjust or tweak any of the overalls, because I want to make the best community rosters possible. So continuing with that, we are looking at the San Diego Chargers, and today we will start at the quarterback position, which is, they've had pretty solid quarterback play with Mr. Phillip Rivers, who we gave in 87 overall. Last year, Phillip Rivers 4-12 as a starter, so the wins weren't there, but I mean, they were pretty banged up. He still had almost 4,800 total passing yards, 29 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions, with, his top receiver being down for pretty much half the season and not having Antonio Gates for a big part of it. Is still very productive, so that's why we felt 87 is fair. I don't know if it was good enough to just a 90, maybe with the quality of players around him, but I feel comfortable giving the 87. They also acquired Zach Mettenberger after the Tennessee Titans released him, so that is a solid quarterback to have waiting on your depth chart. Look at the running back position, Danny Woodhead. We gave him an 85 overall. Last year, Danny Woodhead only had 330 rushing yards for 3 touchdowns, but 80 receptions, almost 800 receiving yards, and 6 touchdowns. So maybe the best receiving back last year was technically was only credited with 1 start, but I mean he definitely was on the field more than Melvin Gordon. Who, speaking of Melvin Gordon, we gave a 77 overall. Pretty much had a bust of a year. 650 rushing yards, 0 touchdowns total, which is tough. I wasn't super surprised because I knew Todd Gurley was the better of the two, but I definitely thought Melvin Gordon would have a little bit better year. I would not have thought Donald Brown would have more rushing touchdowns than him, but still, the ceiling is still high. I think he has a chance to bounce back and have a really good tandem backfield there for the San Diego Chargers with Gordon and Woodhead combined. Then you got Braden Oliver with a 76, still a good compliment. Fullback, they got Derek Watt. They still have 2 fullbacks technically on the roster as we're recording this, but Derek Watt, J.J. Watt's brother, they drafted, so he's 73 overall. Look at the wide receiver. We gave Keenan Allen a 90 overall. I can't remember what the fuck he did. Was it something with his clavicle or something stupid? Some weird injury, actually. But he only played and started in 8 games. And still, within 8 games, he had 67 receptions, 700 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So he would have played a full 16. Do the math. That's 120 receptions, 1,400 yards, 8 touchdowns, which, that's a 95 plus right there. So I think he will have a big bounce back year in 2016. Good fantasy sleeper. Then we give Stevie Johnson an 82 overall. That may be a little bit too generous. He still had 45 receptions for 500 yards and 3 touchdowns. They got Travis Benjamin coming over from the Cleveland Browns. That's a pretty good signing right there. Very, he can stretch the field from the outside. He had a very productive year. I think he might have hit 1,000 yards. He might have been pretty close, like around between 800 and 1,000 yards. So that is a nice weapon to give Mr. Phillip Rivers. Look at the tight end position. Antonio Gates still going to be pulling in an 89 overall, even though he only played and started in 4 games last year. He had some suspensions and stuff like that. Still had 56 receptions, 630 yards, and 5 touchdowns. So, I mean, Father Time is no pun victim. I don't know what the word is. Antonio Gates, what I'm trying to say, the less clever way, is Antonio Gates is not getting shittier as he's getting older. So, but it's going to be interesting to see if he continues to play much more longer. I wouldn't be surprised if 2016 is his final season. And to do that, they drafted Hunter Henry in the 2nd round, I believe, out of Arkansas, regarded as the best tight end in this year's draft class. So we gave him a 76 overall. Look at the offensive line. King Dunlap, the former worst player I've ever seen play for the Philadelphia Eagles, with a 78 overall. Then at guard, you got Orlando Franklin, the former Denver Bronco, with 76 overall. At center, you got Matt Slauson, who was recently with the Chicago Bears, got cut. He is a guard, but he probably will end up playing center. We gave him an 80 overall. Right guard, DJ Fluker, 78 overall. And right tackle, Joe Barksdale, an 80 overall, was probably the best offensive lineman on a pretty bad offensive line last year. But these guys need to stay fucking healthy. I don't know how many of these guys were hurt for large portions of last year, but I remember during the final stretch of the season, there was not a whole lot of guys that were legit trying to protect Phillip Rivers. Now look at the defensive side of the ball, left defensive, and Joey Bosa, somewhat of a surprise first-round pick. I think he's a great player. I definitely didn't think he would go to the San Diego Chargers. We gave him an 80 overall. I think he's one of the highest ceiling players in this year's draft class and one of the most pro-ready. He will definitely be a starter, so good signing from that regard. At right defensive end, Corey Luget. Is it Luge? Is it French? Is it alright for me to approach that as with the French pronunciation? 10 starts last year, 3 sacks, and 35 tackles. He's a very solid player. Defensive tackle, we got Brandon MEBANE, the former. Did he actually play on them last year, or did he play for the Seattle Seahawks? Either way, he's one of the better run stuffers in the NFL, so at 84 overall, even though he is getting up there in age. You got Sean Lismore, 75. Moving to the linebacking core, Jeremiah Atoshu, 81 overall. I was very high on him when he got drafted, and last year was he a third-round pick? If he was a third-round pick, that was an absolute steal. I'd Philly mocked him, what was it, 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago when he would have been there. But 12 starts last year, 6 sacks, and 52 tackles, so very productive year for him. They also added Joshua Perry from Ohio State, who we gave a 72 overall. Look at the inside linebacker, Denzel Perryman. We gave him an 80 overall in 9 starts last year. He had 2 sacks and 67 total tackles, so that was pretty productive. And then Manti, they have a really good middle linebacking core. Manti with 12 starts last year, had 1 interception and 82 tackles, so that is a pretty good young tandem. As long as Manti stops seeing imaginary girlfriends, he will be pretty solid for years to come. And then right outside linebacker, we have Mark Ingram, who was able to stay healthy. That was a big question mark. Will he be able to play a full season? He got 16 starts under his belt last year, 6 pass deflections, 3 forced fumbles, 10.5 sacks, and 65 tackles. So 86 overall. Maybe could be a little bit higher, but I think that is pretty just. Then looking at the secondary, Jason Verrett, we gave him an 88 overall last year. Jason Verrett started in 14 games, had 3 interceptions, 12 pass deflections, and 46 tackles. So very good, man. They are some absolute playmakers on the San Diego Chargers defense, and they can put it all together. They can definitely try to be competitive and make a run in the AFC West this year. They got Casey Hayward, the former Green Bay Packer. We gave him an 85 overall. And Brandon Flowers, 81 overall. Big drop off for him. He was one of the best free agent signings in 2014. Started in 10 games this year. No interceptions, unfortunately, and 35 tackles. But that's still 3 pretty solid corners to have on your team. Look at a free safety, Dwight Lowery. We gave him an 82 overall. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's a free agent signing. He didn't play for them last year. But who did Dwight Lowery play for? The Colts, maybe? But he's definitely a very solid safety. So 82 is fair enough. And then strong safety, Jalil Idai. We'll go with Die. I think that's a Die. Started in 12 games last year, had 1 sack and 64 total tackles, as well as 4 pass deflections. So we gave him a 78 overall. But it's gonna be interesting to see how this safety core handles themselves without Eric Weddle, who's been pretty much the constant All-Pro player in that secondary for I don't know how many years, 10 years, 8-10 years. So let's be interested to see how they can reestablish themselves back there. Kicker Josh Lambo, the former MLS player, 81 overall, and Mike Cypher, 75 overall. So those are your San Diego Chargers ratings. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree or disagree. If any tweaks should be made, I will make them if I agree. 40 likes, I'll upload the next video immediately. If you haven't subscribed, please do that now. Like I said, 15,000 subs by the time Madden 17 comes out. And that'll pretty much do it for me here today. Guys, thank you for watching. Until next time, it is your boy C4 saying peace out.